If you're watching this, you probably clicked on this video because you want to learn how to start a business. And I'm going to make the assumption that you've probably never started a business before. And trust me, I get it. I've been doing this for 5 years. Business can get pretty intimidating and pretty difficult. But our entire goal here on this channel is to make it as simple as possible for you. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you what I believe to be the best business model and the best business to start in not only 2022, but really any time, because it's not going to go anywhere. This is the same business model that allowed my 64-year-old mom to stop driving Uber full-time and actually be a full-time work-from-home business owner. And now you might be wondering what that business is. Well, it's a remote house cleaning business. What I'm going to cover in this video is what exactly is remote house cleaning, or otherwise known as drop servicing, why I believe it to be the best business model to start in 2022, what the startup costs are, how long it's going to take you to make money, or how long it's going to take you before you make money, and then also how much money can you actually make in this business. So let's get into it. So what is remote house cleaning? I bet you might be wondering because not many people talk about it on the internet. What it is it's basically a house cleaning company, except guess what? You don't have to do any of the cleaning yourself. You get other people to do it for you. And they're not going to be employees. They're going to be contractors. You might be wondering why use contractors instead of employees. Don't you have less control? Not necessarily. So traditionally, when people built and scaled these big house cleaning businesses that you see, these big franchises, they rely on using employees. When you use employees, you have to spend time training them. You have to purchase the equipment for them, the uniforms, the vehicles, the gas they use in those vehicles. What happens when somebody loses a piece of equipment or something? Whose pocket is that going to come out of? It's going to come out of the business owners, right? This is all stuff that would come out of traditionally a cleaning business owner's pocket. And what does this do to the business? It creates unhealthy cash flow because you make your profits. Oh, guess what? Your cleaner loses a piece of equipment, or you need another vehicle so you can add on more cleaners. Guess where that money's coming from? Back out of your profits, right? So you're taking the profits out of the business to fund the growth. This is what you don't want to do. I'm speaking from experience here because this was 3 years of building orange window cleaning. This is what we did. This is how we got to 3 trucks, right? And so we got to that level barely scraping by, barely making money because everything was going back to fund the growth of the business. This is why I prefer the remote house cleaning model. So I'm going to emphasize the remote aspect here now because guess what? You don't have to do any of the labor because we're using contractors instead of employees. You don't have to worry about any of the stuff I talked about. Buying equipment, contractors have it. Vehicles, contractors have them. Training, guess what? Your contractors have paid experience, right? And guess what? They lose something, they break something, whatever. It comes out of their pocket, not yours. So you can easily scale the business. You can get to 10K, 20K, 30K without having to take out of the profits much to fund the growth. You're really going to be reinvesting back into advertising maybe, but your advertising will book you jobs. That's another video. And by using these contractors, you're able to run these businesses completely remotely from anywhere in the world because your cleaners are going to be the boots on the ground actually doing the work. All you have to do is sit back, turn some dials on the marketing. If you're answering phone calls, answer some phone calls. That can be done anywhere, and then manage the schedule. And you might be thinking, oh, well, if I'm using contractors, I have less control and things like that. Not necessarily true. Because you're using other business owners and they've already got all their own equipment and experience needed, you don't have to spend time training them, and you can pay them a lot more because you're going to be paying them 50% of the job. So if I book a house cleaning job for $300, I'm going to pay the contractor $150. Our contractors at Marion & Mop, our remote house cleaning business, make between $30 to $40 an hour. So before you go in the comments and start saying,
oh, you're exploiting people or this and that, because we get a lot of those comments. It's absolutely ridiculous.
There's no house cleaning jobs out there aside from people who are starting remote house cleaning businesses that are paying $30 to $40 an hour for cleaning a house. It's just unheard of. So this creates a win-win situation for your customer and you. Your cleaners are happy because they're getting paid well, and guess what? You pay people more, they're going to do a better job for your customers. So you can actually have more trust in your cleaners to do a solid job. On top of that, because you're paying them so well, they're not going to want to bite the hand that feeds them, and then you're going to create less churn from your team. Meaning if you get a cleaner that's good, your likelihood of keeping them is very, very high because you're paying them so well. And so the whole value out of the remote house cleaning business, as opposed to the W-2 and traditional employee model, is for the contractor specifically, is they don't have to worry about faulty word of mouth anymore. They're getting paid the same, if not more, than they were doing their own jobs for their own clients. And they don't have to worry about customer communication, booking the jobs, managing the schedule, doing any of that stuff. They just have to show up and do the work. So it creates a
win-win-win.
Customers are happy, contractors are happy, and you're happy because you're making profits from anywhere in the world. Now you might be wondering, what makes it the best? So aside from the points I just said, which can honestly be used for this segment as well, but it's a great business because it's low startup cost. You don't have to take out of the business to fund the growth. There's an abundance of cleaners, but the most important and biggest thing is house cleaning is like a cup of coffee, right? A cup of coffee has been around for centuries, been around since almost the dawn of time. Same thing with cleaning. Things have always gotten dirty. And guess what? Got people moving out of states. You got people moving into states. You've got apartment buildings, commercial buildings. You've got people who get unhappy with their current cleaners. So there's no shortage of customers, right? And you're competing locally, meaning your competition sucks, right? They're running their business on pen and paper, fax machines, or they don't even have like a basic software CRM to manage their customers, right? So these are the people you're competing against. All that packaged together is the reason that I think and I believe that this is the best business to start. And you can get started with like $300.
Nice.
What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to sit here and act like it's super easy, right? Business in general is difficult, but I would consider this remote house cleaning model a level 1 business, meaning anyone can start it, anyone can make it work. We've got people in Home Service Academy who are 18 years old to 65 plus crushing it, but it takes effort. So if you're willing to put in the work, put your head down and take the necessary steps to get this started and actually put in the effort, you will have no problem making 10K a month in profit within 90 days. And if you made it this far and haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell. We talk all about how to start and scale businesses, specifically these remote house cleaning businesses. So if you want to learn more about the model, hit subscribe, but let's get back into it. So you hear me saying things like, yeah, you can get started with $300. You might be wondering what the startup costs are. So to get started in this business, you will need an LLC filed in whichever state you're in. I'm in California, the most expensive, where it's $800, but there's other states where it's like $50, $100, way cheaper, right? And this is typically a yearly fee. So you're going to need the LLC. Once the LLC is all done, I'm going to get into your fixed costs. So this is things that are going to be recurring costs for your business monthly. You're going to have Booking Koala. This is the main booking software and scheduling software we use and to manage all of our customers' data, their addresses, names, numbers, emails, things like that. Booking Koala is $57 a month. You're then going to get insurance for your house cleaning business under an employment agency, which is going to be anywhere between $30 to $60 depending on which insurance provider you go to. We use Next. Then you're going to have your phone system. We use OpenPhone. OpenPhone's about $30 a month. This is going to allow you to not use your personal number. You don't want to be posting your personal number all over the internet and on like Google My Business and things like that because you don't want a bunch of random people calling you, and OpenPhone will give you a personalized number for your business and it'll record all the calls. So if you ever hire someone to answer calls for you, you can go back and review the calls and provide feedback and kind of see what's going wrong there if they're not booking jobs properly. And then you can do a website, which I'm not even going to include in fixed costs because Booking Koala offers a free website builder just through the software, so you can always use that if you're on a tight budget. If not, I highly recommend Blue Collar Builds. Alex is a good friend of mine. He built Marion Mop's website. If you want to go check out his work, go to marionmop.com and you can see his work there. And then you have variable costs, which is subcontractor pay and marketing. However, if you sign up for Google Local Service Ads, you will almost never, 99% of the time, never lose money on Google LSA ads because they're sending people that are ready to buy, right? They're people already searching house cleaning. If they're searching house cleaning and clicking to call you, they probably really need their house cleaned. So I don't even include it really as a cost because it'll always return you profit, and then you only pay out the contractors when they actually complete jobs for you. So there's that. Once that's all set up and done, you might be wondering now, how long before you actually start making money? This process can take as long or really as quickly as you like it, because this is when you're going to get your software set up with Booking Koala. This takes some time because Booking Koala is very powerful and has a lot of cool features. So you want to get that set up. And then after that's all said and done, you want to get all your, advertising and stuff, signing up for Google My Business, things like that. We did a whole video on how to start one of these businesses, so go check that out. We'll link it down below. But the main obstacle you're going to have to get through, which really isn't that hard because you're paying people well, is hiring. You can do hiring through a multitude of ways. We have another video on hiring down below, but basically you've got Indeed. If you want to throw like $100 on Indeed, you can do that. You can use local Facebook and Nextdoor groups and find the local cleaners that only operate on word of mouth. That's another great method. Care.com is a big one. Cool thing about Care.com is the cleaners come background checked. So you can use Care.com and have no problem getting cleaners through there. Those are just 3 ways. We talk about a bunch more on the channel, so check out the rest of the videos. But hiring on average, from what I've seen from 400 plus students inside Home Service Academy, takes around 2 weeks. So once that's all said and done, you should be up and ready to make money by the beginning to end of week 3 of launching the business. Which leads me to last but not least, how much money can you make? So these businesses really have 3 main components to make it work. You've got your closing rate. Are you or your virtual assistant or your staff member who's answering the phone calls booking jobs between 50 to 60% of the time? If so, then you can check that off. That's one bottleneck done. Is your hiring funnel locked down? And do you have solid cleaners that you can trust and have a repeatable process of finding more cleaners like that? If that's a yes and check, Then last but not least is, do you have a sustainable acquisition channel to acquire customers? If the answer is yes, then boom, now it becomes a game. Net profit margins in this business can be anywhere between 30 to 40% net. Okay, as you put in a VA, as you get more staff in, it might lower a little bit, but on average, that's what I see. And really, once you have those 3 things dialed in, now it's just turning dials. Maybe you need to open up another marketing channel. Maybe you need to get someone on the weekends to answer your calls, right? But basically now it's just, okay, I'm putting in X amount of money and returning this amount. Let me turn up the marketing, hire more cleaners, because once all the systems are dialed in, and if you drive more leads to your phones, you'll close them. And then you have a sustainable hiring funnel. You can send quality cleaners to do the jobs and have no problems doing it. So off the bat, in the first 90 days, you should have no problem getting 6 to 7K a month in cash flow. You should have no problems getting to 20K a month by the end of day 90 if you run the playbook that we talk about on this channel and you nail those 3 things I talked about. I know I gave you guys a ton of information in this video. I hope you take action on it. I hope you go implement it, because you're really just a few weeks away from making life-changing cash flow. And this is why this is our favorite business. It's very simple. It's completely remote. You can do it from anywhere in the world. Even if you have a 9 to 5, it takes 5 to 15 hours a week. It's not a problem. You're not going to have to go clean toilets, mop floors, do anything like that. So if you wanted to run this business in your pajamas all day, you absolutely could do that and really make as much money as you wanted to. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching the video. And again, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe down below, the notification bell, and go check out the rest of our videos on how we start and scale these businesses. We give a lot more tactical tips in these videos. This was more of a high-level overview. So again, more tactical tips down below. Go check the rest out. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.